can't. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and bring to order the Historical Preservation Board meeting for December 4th, 2025, which I see shouldn't commence for 2 hours. How'd that happen? But nonetheless, we are here and we are ready to go. Let's call to order. I believe we will have the invocation brought to us by Chaplain Mulberry today. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. So very happy to have you with us here today, sir. Following that, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Miss Patty Vogt. Please stand.
Father, it is again, we say thank you for allowing us to come together. We thank you for this meeting, this session. We pray that you would crown the leadership's head with wisdom, God, in every dealing and every circumstance and situation. We pray, God, that you will grant them the wisdom that's necessary to move forward in this business. We thank you for the board members, each of them, God, for their commitment to the task and the assignment. We pray continual blessing upon them throughout this day and that is to come. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. If we could, the roll call, please.
Yes, ma'am. Chair Elizabeth Van Rensburg,
Here.
Vice Chair Brianna Pierce,
Here.
Megan Bevel, Patty Vogt,
Present.
Tim Jefferson,
Present.
Christopher Hollister,
Present.
Mary Jane Rosa, absent for the record. We have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. Let's move on to item D, which is our appeals procedure. Any person wishing to appeal any decision made by the Historic Preservation Board with respect to any matter considered at such meeting will need a record of the proceedings, and for such purpose may need to ensure that a verbatim record of the proceedings is made at the appellant's expense, which record includes the testimony and evidence upon which the appeal is to be based. Florida Statute 285.105. Moving then to ex parte communications from the board. Moving then to board members who happen to have a birthday today. I didn't say anything. You were going to. Moving on, Ms. Beville, happy birthday. Also, Ms. Vogt.
It's my husband's birthday today. Yeah.
I tell you. Thank you for being so forthright about that. Moving on to item E, which is, of course, our meeting purpose disclosure. The purpose of the Historic Preservation Board is to steward the architecture of properties in our city's historic districts by applying the guidelines of the Secretary of the Interior standards for historic preservation. We then have the approval of minutes of the November 6, 2025 meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Ms. Vogt.
The only thing is they misspelled my name.
Well, you should have probably called somebody about that. We also got minutes wrong, but that's okay.
Then I will second.
Thank you, Ms. Pierce. All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed. Excellent. The minutes of the November 6, 2025 meeting are approved. Moving on to public comments. These are indeed public comments not related to agenda items. So let's open up for public comment and see what happens. Absolutely nothing. All right, let's go ahead and close down public comments and move straight into new business. We'll start with new business item A under 4 on the agenda, which is HPB 25-35, a request for after the fact certificate of appropriateness for various construction at 502 North 3rd Street. The parcel ID number begins with 42 and ends with 0040. The owners are Eric and Michelle Cernick. Thank you. The requested action is consideration of an after-the-fact certificate of appropriateness for various construction completed on the property. Please get us started, Ms. Brown.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is a request to obtain an after-the-fact certificate of appropriateness for the exterior improvements that have already been started on the structure and at the property. They have also added proposed improvements. The parcel is located at 502 North 3rd Street in the North Historic District. The applicants, Eric and Michelle Cernick, are here. Photographs in the staff report illustrate where the construction has already been done with the replaced siding, fence sections, and sliding glass door with proposed steps. Requested improvements consist of exterior painting, silver coating the roof, a wooden back deck with wood rails, and a concrete slab. In the Florida Master Site File, it says the home was built between 1892 and 1897. The home is on the corner lot in a well-defined historic district, and the entire Florida Master Site File is included in your package. If you have any questions for me or the applicants, we are here.
Thank you very much. Ms. Gentlemen, do we have questions for city staff at this point? I've got one. It appears to me that there's already a metal roof. Thank you, Ms. Pierce. Perhaps you should be in charge. It appears to me that there's already a metal roof on the property. Why exactly would a silver coat on a metal roof be considered anything other than maintenance?
It was part of the after the fact that it needed to be done. It was just included in the.
Mr. Cernick, please join us at the microphone if you would, sir.
The
And if
sil-
you would, I'm so sorry,
Yeah,
but
no,
even-
the silver coat, I mean, just because it's showing rust, I mean, I've been up there a bunch. The integrity of it is still good. The metal on it is still good. It's just, I was going about, taking care of everything else on the maintenance list. And I didn't want to not add this so that we didn't have to come a bunch of times. It's not that it was, not wanting to come and see everybody here and pay our fees. It was just that I figured I'd lump it all in right now, just as maintenance, the silver to be maintenance.
Understood completely, and that would be my take on it as well.
Yep.
Metal roof, maintenance.
Yep.
Could I have a buy-in possibly from city staff as to whether or not this needs to be addressed separately in the application on any level?
I believe you don't need to include in this review that you're doing today. That could be reviewed just by staff if it is just a, like you said, just general normal maintenance.
That
That is
was
reviewed by staff.
sort of my thought, and by the same token, and I apologize, but I was a neighbor of yours for
Mhm.
many years. It also strikes me that as based on the last 3 or 4 meetings that we've had, we have no opinion on paint color. Well, hold on. I take that back. Possibly I am parsing my application. No, there was a paint color involved, wasn't there?
On this
Oh.
one, yes, there
Yes.
is, there is, yeah, there is.
So without having a paint palette
That's correct.
agreed to, we have no comment whatsoever on paint color. So that is something else that is not within our purview at this time. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And thirdly, I am so sorry, but that particular fence, it's been there for the past 20 years that I can remember.
Mhm.
And it seems to me that it was put there originally because wasn't there a pool on the property?
There's a pool in there, yes.
Okay, so it's an 8-foot fence because you have a pool. And-
It's 6, but yes,
Okay. And once again, you're doing maintenance to an existing fence.
yes.
Okay, am I on the wrong track with this?
You can remove that for your consideration today as well.
So seems to me that what we are basically after is windows, siding, and back steps. Is that correct?
A sliding door.
Sliding door. Okay. So based on that, can we kind of regroup and see if we have any questions for the applicant based on those parameters? Okay, who would like to start us out?
Do you want to go item by item or?
We typically do. Why don't we start with
Start with the siding?
Start with the siding.
Okay.
Yes,
I mean, from what the packet is showing, it is pretty much like for like. I mean, they are wood siding with wood siding, it's same shape, so I see no problem with that. I make a motion to,
well, you know
Or-
what? Actually, before
wanna-
we do
okay.
that, we should probably open up to public comment.
yes, yeah.
I was
yes,
kind of
sorry.
looking more for questions of. the
No, I
applicant.
have no questions about that. That one right there is,
Okay,
self-explanatory.
let's go ahead and open this up to public comment. And y'all are a chatty bunch. Let's go ahead and keep going. Yes, ma'am, keep going.
So the next one, fences are,
Let's, you know what?
do you want to
let's
go ahead and do it item
yeah,
by item?
one at a
Let's go
time.
ahead and, okay, so we'll go ahead with the siding. I go ahead and make a motion to accept as presented. With the southern pine siding replacing the damaged wood that's on the house.
Thank you, Mr. Hollister. Thank you, Ms. Pierce. We have a motion and a second to approve the siding repairs.
Mhm.
All in favor, please, oh, any discussion? All right, if not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed. All right, moving on to the next part of the application, which let's go with the
Window?
window replacement, which is on the rear side of the property. And again, that's kind of a sticky wicket for us, guys. Now, it is a corner property. And if the fence ever came down, it would be very apparent from Olive Street. So what are we thinking on this?
You're thinking replacing all the windows in the house?
No, sir.
Just the one side?
As far as what's in this as per question is the sliding door between my house and Mr. Horowitz's house.
Hmm.
There was a window there and it was very leaky and then
Yeah.
it ended up getting, because there was a shed there that got removed and the sliding glass door that replaced the window that was there, that's what I am believing is in question.
Okay. So it's not window replacement? it's
No,
just the
sir.
door.
It's that door that replaced that particular window. There was a double hung set of windows there.
Okay, so it's removal of window, installation of sliding door.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ms. Vogt?
My question is about fiberglass. Is that? I think in the past, when we've done that, it's wood, is it not?
Typically,
Yeah.
That particular door is wood framed. And it's wood cased.
Okay.
And right now it's stained like just about the color of the trim, the wood, natural wood trim in this
So
room.
that saying fiberglass here is incorrect then.
Yeah, it's that door is,
Okay,
Not
because it says
fiberglass.
fiberglass here, so.
okay, well. I mean, I think I submitted. I did not look at what got submitted.
Oh, it is wood.
It is, yes, ma'am. It
Thank
is
you.
wood.
Thank you. That's okay.
all right, where are we leading with the replacement of a double hung window with a door?
My personal thoughts are sliding doors are not historically correct to this period of home, especially with that being on a street side. It's not, it's in the far back to where you never
No,
see
it's
it.
on the side
It's on
between.
the side of the
homes.
house next to the neighbor's house. Tucked back.
It's probably, as far as that house is. I mean, from front corner to back corner on that side has got to be 95 feet long. No, maybe 80. It's not even 80. Let me go one more time. 25, probably 60 feet. And that door is located at probably 45 foot back from the corner on Third Street between my house and Daniel Horowitz's big, great big white house.
So it is on the side street side.
It's on the,
If you're looking at the front of the house, it's on the
it's
right.
on the right hand side,
Oh.
yes.
Okay,
Not
okay,
road.
okay. I'm just trying to, there's
Yes.
no,
Visualize it.
I
yeah,
mean, it's,
Well, and
okay,
Those windows are at the top of that house, on the opposite side.
okay,
mhm,
okay.
And just point of clarification, from many, many years ago, we
Mhm.
were instructed by city staff, don't drive by properties, refer to your packet. So if we're a little bit confused
Yeah,
as to
no,
what the layout is
no,
of
that's okay.
your home,
Yeah,
it's because
I
we're
almost
doing
feel
the
like-
best we can.
I almost feel like I need like Google Maps and like get a street view or something going.
yeah.
It's just, it's hard to, like she says, hard to tell where this is exactly
Mhm.
just from a photo.
No, I got you.
Okay, okay.
And just as kind of a further point of clarification, I doubt you spend a lot of time watching our meetings on YouTube.
Mhm.
But if you did, you would know that when it comes to us as an after the fact
Yes,
application, it does not give us the opportunity to guide you as to what we would like to see based
Sure.
on the Secretary of Interior standard.
Mhm.
So we're sort of flying blind. On the one hand, we don't want to put you under duress, but on the other hand, this is what we're supposed to be
Sure.
keeping an eye on and making sure that it stays the way it needs to stay.
absolutely.
We also tend to set precedents that we don't want to set
Mhm.
by the decisions we make.
Yep.
And other property owners are super excited to come back to us and say, why'd you let them do it, but not us?
Mhm.
So we have to be super sure of our decision-making process.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your understanding.
Yeah.
Ladies, gentlemen,
I drive past it every day and it's tucked back. It's barely noticeable, so. You know. That's as long as the needle's in and the damage is done.
all right, other opinions?
I mean, I still stand by. Again, like what Miss Elizabeth said, this is an after the fact. But we would like to see French doors. I mean, try to stay more period correct to the home and its integrity. But again, this is in an area that's not seen, I guess, from the road,
Mhm.
unless you are peeking over the fence, trying to see it. And we really want to keep the facade of the house period correct. So, and that's my only concern, that it's a sliding door. But
Ms. Vogt,
I think my concern is the after the facts seem to be more frequent. And with that, we're starting to continually lose more and more of the historic preservation that we're supposed to be watching after. And it's for me, it's just not, it's not what I would like to see.
other board members? Alternately, would someone like to go ahead and move us ahead with a motion of some nature? Particularly on the window door replacement.
I would like to see to work something else out. And I would like to make a motion to deny the glass door after the fact.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Do we have discussion? If not, let's go ahead and do a roll call, please. And just to reiterate, the motion is to deny this particular part of the application, and that is the replacement of a window with a door.
So what are we gonna? Okay, if we deny them, it's already in, we deny it, what are we gonna do? Make them tear it out and put something else in?
Well,
I mean, how about this? I'm good with putting a window back in there, because then you save me not having to put the deck and the concrete. So I'm with Miss, how do you say your last name? Vogt
Vote.
and Miss Pierce. I'm okay with that. And then what I will do, actually, I really would love to keep the door, but if you guys are gonna say we gotta switch it back, then we have to switch it back.
So just to clarify, you were all right with putting the old window back in?
No, because
No.
it was leaking, so, and I had, I mean, I'm a builder,
Okay,
just like the Van Rensburgs. And I had that door, it was a very nice door, an expensive door, and I put it in quickly because I had water coming into that portion of my house. So it was like, all right, I mean, it was an emergency situation. It's a beautiful door.
understood. And thank you, which is why I would like to clarify what it was that you were offering.
Mhm.
So you were offering, and again, just to make certain that we understand,
Mhm.
based
I mean,
on,
I guess my question is if there's two no's to switch it back, then I guess where am I going with the door, I guess? As far as being able to keep the door or going to a next step to keep the door.
Ms. West, you looked as though you wanted to,
So I just wanted to clarify Ms. Pierce's comments. She wanted it periods specific. It sounded like, and maybe I misheard, you were okay with French doors, just not the sliding glass door variety.
Well, yes, sliding glass doors are
Right.
modern.
So as the applicant is looking for options, in the event that you do proceed with asking them to remove this particular door, one of the options would be to replace it with French doors as well.
Yes,
I'm
either,
not sure that that
Okay.
was communicated.
yeah,
correctly.
yes, yes,
So I'm
either
just
if
trying to make sure you guys are talking the same talk.
I got it.
talking the same talk, yes.
Okay.
So yes, period correct doors such as French doors, but if you want to put, I mean, a window, I mean, if you don't want to do the deck and concrete that is suggested in the packet.
All right, we're doing it.
Uh,
There's a lot of
Yeah.
wives in here, so yes. Yes. We'll do the door. We'll switch the door then.
right, so what I am hearing is a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Wait,
Do we need to
motion and a
re-motion?
second for the motion that I made, that it's going to go back as a window.
Actually, you're right.
Miss West, do we need to re-motion or do we need to, what do we need to do with this motion?
So you have a
Second.
motion and a second, so you need to vote on that particular
Okay,
motion.
and
then if that fails, then you make a motion that is different from the motion that just failed.
okay,
All right, so we have a motion and a second to go back to having a window. I don't think we
correct.
need,
To deny this,
I make the motion to go back as a window.
That's
my original motion.
there was,
That's my original motion.
I think there was,
Wasn't
just
it
to
that
deny
you didn't
it?
like that door?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it was to deny it and go back to the
To
original.
deny on the
Yes, that
door,
was, yes, correct.
deny that door, the sliding door.
Well, yes. Yes, but go ahead, go do
All
what
right.
you want, but I'll answer mine later.
so we have clarified. So we have a motion and a second. We've had board discussion. Is there any more? If not, if you are in favor of asking the applicant to go back with a window, say aye, and if,
Can we
Now-
have the clerk read back the motion? Does the
Yeah.
clerk have the motion?
Motion was to deny the glass door, motion by Bo, second by Pierce.
Right, so there was no
There's no.
Yeah,
instruction about a
okay,
window.
yes.
Yeah.
all right. So based on that, if you are in favor of just denying the door in its entirety, please say aye.
all right.
Do I still have?
I don't know, I am,
Let's,
okay,
let's do a roll call.
Well, you know what? I mean, please, if you would, clarify for the 15th time.
Read the motion back. please.
Okay, so the motion, the motion was to deny the glass door. And it was just, just a glass door by vote, second by Pierce.
All right, so it is as simple as we don't want a glass door.
So you gotta go,
That was the motion.
That was the.
That was
motion.
the
That was
That was
second.
to deny.
Just to clarify, you can make a motion that is different from that motion. For example, I move to have the applicant replace the glass door with a French door. That's different.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you just told us that we had to vote this down before we
You
could start
do.
over.
You do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's try it again. All in favor of denying the sliding glass door?
Aye.
Aye. And opposed?
Midnight.
Thank you. All right.
I got a hypothetical question, if you don't mind. Or what happens if somebody replaced all the windows in their house with vinyl and then came before the board? Would we make them take out those vinyl windows and put the old ones back?
Well, at the risk of sounding like a person that takes this board and our responsibility very, very seriously, I would say that we ought to.
Okay.
But I think it's patently obvious that it pains us, quite frankly, to ask a homeowner to retrace their steps on a project of this nature. However, it's exactly what we're charged with doing. So I think that it's not always easy to do the right thing.
Question?
Ms. Vogt, I'm sorry, she was,
My response to you on that, if this was not an after the fact, then this wouldn't be happening. If it was before the fact, would have been said, no glass doors, so on and so forth. There would not have been the work, there would not have been the expense and what's happening right now. So I think the thing in question is all the after, people coming after. And that causes this type of a thing. When we're trying to preserve the historic neighborhood, and the more that we keep changing those guidelines, the less value your property will have and the neighborhood and so on and so forth. That is my opinion.
Thank you, Ms. Vogt.
People still aren't getting the message though, sadly. It's happening more and more and more. people are
Yes,
coming
it is.
before us,
Yes, I
but,
agree.
you
I don't know what to do about that. I'm just doing the best
Mm.
I can.
I feel like we all are, Mr. Jefferson, sir.
So this sliding, partially fiberglass door has been denied. Do we need to make a motion that the homeowner can put in a French door?
I believe that is the direction that we might be heading. If I am not incorrect, then someone would like to move us forward.
All right, I'll make a motion to proceed with the French doors as presented by the applicant.
Mhm.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you,
Jeff.
Mr. Jefferson. Do we have discussion? If not, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. And opposed.
Aye.
how hard would it be to make these
Opposed.
French doors?
Difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sliding doors.
You take
you-
the slide out, put a.
I
thing in
mean,
the middle.
I'm pretty crafty. I don't think I could do that. I'm okay.
All right, moving on to the last item under consideration, that is a 4x7 deck with a 38-inch railing and concrete pad.
Are you pointing now? Is the deck and the railing and you point now?
No.
No.
And I believe I might have heard you say, sir, that you have the lumber on hand for that project.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be pressure treated. I don't think that I submitted any pictures as far as like the railing detail, but I mean, the whole thing will be pressure treated. It'll be similar to the one that's. Yeah,
Alright.
4x7 deck, it's 38-inch rail, all pressure treated lumber. The pad at the bottom of the stairs will be 3x4 concrete. And step off to the ground. At 3 inches, I mean, it'll be ground level. That's it. Pickets, everything. I mean, the balustrades, everything will be wooden. The deck itself will be just pressure treated deck boards. You know, after they're dried, the whole thing will get, painted to the same color that the house will get painted, so. I mean, I'm not gonna be doing anything, out of character to what the nature and the look of the neighborhood is.
Thank you for that clarification. Do we have questions for the applicant on this note?
I don't-
What are our feelings?
I don't have a problem. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Mm.
I think it's fine. I also want you to know that I lived on the north side for about 15 years
Mhm.
and owned several of the houses around there. This house has been in need for a long time
Mhm.
to be fixed up,
Mhm.
and I do very much appreciate that.
Mhm.
And I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. So I want you to know that.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a good contributor because it's a big property.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Thank you for that.
Is that a motion, Ms. Vogt?
Thank you.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Pierce. We have a motion and a second. Do we have discussion? If not, all in favor of having no issues with the deck, stairs, banisters, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed. Excellent. Thank you very much for your time today, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Come on up. Thank you.
So, when we we're able to replace the door with a French door, do you want us to bring back any pictures or anything, or,
I feel like that is something that staff can determine.
okay,
So just send everything through Miss Renee. That's correct. Yes, sir. That's fine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to new business item B, HPB 2536. A request for a certificate of appropriateness for exterior painting and installation of a metal fence at 211 Kirkland Street. Parcel ID begins with a 42, ends with 0082. The owners are here with us. They are Keith and Tina Marie Andrews. And the requested action is a consideration of a certificate of appropriateness to paint the exterior of the property and install a metal fence. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, everybody. We're not going to talk about the paint.
Let's
Okay.
not talk about the paint.
All right.
Okay, we're good with that. Thank you very much. This is a request to obtain a certificate of appropriateness for the addition of a black steel wrought iron looking 4-foot-high fence around the front of the property that will coincide with the railing of the steps to the front door. The parcel is at 211 Kirkland Street, and the applicants are Keith and Tina Marie Andrews. Based on the information in the Florida Master Site file, the description is modern. It was constructed after the war with no specific date given. The design of the house with the brick seals and a brick trim around it were done with sensitivity to the historic character of the district, and as a result, complements it well. The entire Florida Master Site file is in your agenda. The applicants are here if you have any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Do we have questions for city staff? Realizing we're taking paint off of the palette. We're basically talking about installing a 4-foot metal fence similar to many other 4-foot metal fences in the neighborhood. No questions of Ms.
Mm-mm.
Brown. Anything that you'd like to add for us? If so, come on up.
No, thank you for the consideration, and we're glad to improve the property and make it a contributing part of the neighborhood.
Excellent. Do we have questions for the property owner?
Mhm.
No, if not, let's go ahead and open up to public comment. Surprise, we'll close public comment. Board discussion. It strikes me as a complete no-brainer.
I personally like the fence.
Okay.
I like the design.
Are we going to allow Ms. Vogt and Ms. Pierce to,
I'll go ahead and make a motion to accept the black steel fence as presented by the applicant.
I'll second it.
Thank you and thank you. For discussion? All in favor
Aye.
I,
and opposed? Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Vogt, were you about to say that's the difference between
Yes,
asking and telling? Yes.
well. It does is
Sorry, we're in,
it keeps the integrities of the historic districts when we do it ahead of time.
well,
Because
that,
then they don't waste their money, their time, and
Mr. Jefferson. I was going to say, do sit down. We are going. But she feels like after 4 months of putting ourselves in a self-inflicted coma over paint colors, that we might be willing to move somewhere with this. That's okay, sir. All right, so we have had all sorts of discussion about asking that the city of Palatka consider a historic color palette. This is not something that we can demand, we can simply request. We've looked at Gainesville, we've looked at St. Augustine, we've looked at DeLand. Personally, I feel that the DeLand was so centered on their downtown core, it really didn't take into account the amount of different architecture that we have here in the Palatka area. Gainesville, I just wasn't for me. Perhaps because I'm a St. Augustine girl, my personal recommendation, which I did drop off at the city last month, was that we take the St. Augustine color palette and we make it a little more ours by not including properties that we
Like
don't have
Spanish.
because we didn't have a first Spanish period.
Mhm.
And we moved that forward as a recommendation. What are everyone's thoughts?
I feel the same.
Yeah.
I think
I-
it's a good selection, yes.
Yeah.
4 months, we all agree.
And
I know, wow.
I'm happy that we're gonna hopefully have something that we can refer to help people ahead of time, maybe give it to them ahead of time. And if they don't and they come, then, we'll have
Absolutely.
something to refer to.
Mhm.
Well, our hands are no longer tied if indeed it passes muster, which it's going to have to do. And of course, we've been cautioned by our city attorney that it's getting more difficult to add layers of care to historic properties, but again, that's our job.
Was that a motion you made?
I don't make motions.
No.
No,
We'll need to see
they already
the-
hate me. I don't make
No,
motions.
we'll need to see the color palette to be able to make those determinations of what colors we want to have in our color palette, correct?
Well, we have had the color palette in our possession.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
We can move for that
like,
and
which
then,
ones are we scratching out of this
Basically,
lovely palette or?
most everything that in my estimation would be before the Civil War, because what we have is a
Pretty much the Civil War
finite amount of
forward.
properties
Yeah.
that were built
Okay.
before the Civil War, and that's about it.
so the motion should say that then.
Well,
Yes, no?
I would say yes, to take the city of the city of St. Augustine color palette and make it more to what suits us as far as timelines are concerned.
Okay.
And by the way, before we vote on this, I should probably open it up to public comment.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering why she was here.
Yeah, I knew you were here for a,
She
all
wasn't
right.
here for the initial one, so.
all right.
Illegal Kitchens, Palatka, Florida. I really was trying not to speak. We do have at least 3 buildings in the North and South Historic District that are pre-Civil War. One in the South, 1855, and then St. Mark's Church is 1854, and the Bronson House, 1854. So just FYI, we do have some buildings in both districts that are pre-Civil War, and probably more that I'm not aware of. Thank you.
And, again, as long as we are putting a recommendation out there to what we would like to have happen, to me, it would make sense that if it is a pre-Civil War house, you paint it white.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
There has been some talk about extending the historic boundaries and lines. Do we have any of those homes that are older, pre-Civil War?
You're
that would be.
gonna open up that can of worms when
Well,
we're finally getting.
well,
to
I
the
mean,
paint
if we're
palette?
gonna do it, like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we should have it open so that in case they do decide to do that, it
Well,
would automatically be done and
What-
we wouldn't have to go back and do it all again. Is everybody thoughts about that?
perhaps if there was a motion to be made, we could say that we would like to revisit this motion, assuming that at some time other historical districts are designated.
Okay, that's good.
If it's appropriate. Ms. Kitchens, just state,
What, just, yeah.
yeah, come on.
Haven't used my 3 minutes yet. To the best of my knowledge, there are no other buildings in the city of Palatka that are pre-Civil War, including my house, which I think is now 1870 instead of 1876. And it's one of the oldest houses, but I don't think there's any outside the city limits of Palatka or inside the city limits that are older than that, older than Civil War. Thank you.
Thank you.
And just as a point of reference, I believe your house is painted white.
Yeah, it used to be, it was gray, and then when we moved in, it was white, yellow trimmed in white. And then my mother didn't like that, so we got it white trimmed in green, and that's what I've kept it.
Mhm.
And the Bronson House and St. Mark's are white, you might know, and then the Sanchez House, which has just been repainted on the corner of Fourth and Laurel Street,
It's across the street from mine.
across from Patty's house, it's white, so, yeah, and I have no
Mine is
problem
a-
with it being painted white, but I don't, to the best of my knowledge, there's no houses anywhere in the city of Palatka, and I work deeds in the city, that are pre-Civil War, except the three I mentioned,
Mhm.
just for your information.
My house is 1870s and it's white.
Mine is post-Civil War in 1885 and it's white and it's always been white.
So,
Well,
Thank you, Ms.
except
Kitchens.
Previous owners painted it multicolors.
I knew she'd know that answer.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, it is sad to note that in the years that I've sat on the historical board, I think we've gone from 8 pre-Civil War structures down to
It's been
Larry
sad.
can tell you that.
3.
Yeah.
All right,
Devastating.
ladies, gentlemen, where are we leaning toward this? Remember, it is a recommendation.
And there are not that many pre-Civil War colors in this palette that you'd have to, I don't know who would be in charge or have the onus of getting rid of, you know. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Body, classic white.
1840 and 1840 to 70.
Yeah, we're not all kind of looking at the same information, but by the same token, we've all looked at the same information for months. So, Ms. Beville, is your recommendation to leave the pre-1821
Yes,
in there just in case?
no, I'm saying the exact opposite.
You're saying the exact, boy, I don't seem to get this.
Ms. Bowden said that. And he said no.
Okay. Well, let me put it this way. Where are we leaning? Seems to me we like the idea of the St. Augustine color palette.
Yes.
As opposed to DeLand or Gainesville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we leave the dates open to the interpretation of our planning director?
Oh, you may if you want,
Based
but
on
I'd rather you do that.
So,
Let
Yeah,
me just,
based on the age
let
of
me
the
just
structure.
remind you about the process, that we have to go through to get the palette in our code.
Mhm.
We're gonna have to do a text amendment to the code,
Yes,
to the section. And
which is
that
why I
would take-
say that it is a recommendation at
Yeah,
this
that would take
stage.
2 public hearings from the city commission. So whatever you decide to do today, we're probably gonna have to bring you back with some specific text amendment to the code. And I don't know what you're saying, the St. Augustine palette. Do you want to make any changes to it, or do you want us just to adapt, what they adopted, to the city of Palatka?
I can only imagine how many years of research went into creating the St. Augustine palette.
Mhm.
I have never had I've never sat on the St. Augustine Historical Board. Although I believe, Ms. Beville, did you?
I've been in front of it.
Oh, okay. But I just cannot fault the amount of investigative work St. Augustine does on anything that is historical.
Right.
It actually has a little bit of the history.
So-
So I have a question. So we'll make a motion to, I guess, be able to present this
recommend the adoption of
Yeah.
historical
You can
color
do that, you
palette.
can just give a direction to staff to bring it back to you, in the packages for adopting with the text amendment. And obviously, we're gonna include the palette. We have to produce a document.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to go into the code.
Up until now, we've simply been workshopping. This
Yeah,
is the
okay,
first
so
time that we're making a
Can we,
move forward.
So if you give
With
us a direction that you were
with a
gonna work
motion?
with the St. Augustine, that's what we'll do.
I mean, I would like to go ahead and move forward and let's use the St. Augustine color palettes that they have in their historical parameters for ours as well.
Okay, excellent. So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Do we have additional discussion? Mr. Jefferson? No? Okay. If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed. All right, excellent.
Awesome.
Anything else in the way of board member comments?
I know we had talked, Mr. Gima,
Yes, I'm sorry.
we had talked before about having workshops in reference to, as Ms. West put it, more teeth in our decisions. And this is the first one. How do we go about choosing something else? And when do we start that?
Well, it's up to the board,
So we
Okay.
need to make a
Needs to
recommendation for
come
our
from the
next.
board.
Yes, okay, thank you, sir. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure.
But just keep in mind, that there is the bill that was passed last year,
Mhm.
that past legislature, that we cannot adopt any regulation that are more restrictive to what we have today.
Yes.
So let's just keep in mind that, when you.
And when you say what we have today, are you speaking of the city of Palatka? Or are you speaking
Whole
of
state of Florida.
the state of Florida? Okay, so,
But that
I think-
includes us.
okay, thank you, sir. Because I think that some of what they have adopted in other cities, we don't have any of that. So I think
Yeah.
we would still be okay
Yeah,
in
if it is
trying
considered more
something.
restrictive, then we subject to lawsuits and challenges.
Yes, well, we wouldn't be any more than the standard in other places, in my mind.
Well, it's not regarding other places, it's regarding what we have today in our regulations.
In
We
the
cannot
city-
adopt regulations that are more restrictive to what we have today.
But you're saying this blankets the state of Florida. So
Yes.
my question to you would be, what are other cities that have the history that we have?
Well.
What are their historical
So I don't know what
preservation
it
boards
is
doing?
regarding historic preservation, but I'm pretty sure and I know other jurisdictions that they're being very, very careful about adopting regulations that are more restrictive. We know that there is a proposed bill for this coming legislature that's going to amend a little bit that bill that is already in place.
Well, what I understand now, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, we don't really have anything other than the attorney, Secretary of Interior, excuse me. And other than that, we are always just going by city ordinances,
Right.
which blankets the entire city, which is not historic. So my hope was that we could become, in the historic areas, to have more guidelines, not too restrictive, but more guidelines so that you see the separation of the historic districts from just the regular homeowners and the homes in the city. Am I?
I'm
Is
not
that
an
okay?
attorney, I'm not an attorney, but I believe if it is just guideline, and that's all we have today anyway. We only have guidelines.
Right,
We
exactly.
don't have a requirement. As long as it's just guideline, I think we're gonna be okay, but I'm gonna defer that.
But
to
they're
the-
very open. They're
Ms.
very
West, but,
gray. They're very gray and they're not specific. And for me, I'm speaking for myself, the neighborhoods show that.
Mhm.
Once I keep saying the same thing, but if you took down the signs in our historic neighborhood, you would know they were historic because of the lack of guidelines.
Right.
So that's what I was hoping for, not that we're like crazy people or, like you're living in a condo association or something like that, but
I
just so
understand.
that we refined it more and made it more obvious that, oh,
Look at the old homes, look at all the colors, look at all the beautiful lamps, just everything that you would recognize that this is a beautiful historic neighborhood in Palatka. That's my hope.
Yep.
Well, and maybe a workshop that needs to happen would be with our city attorney to
Absolutely.
advise us what might potentially be coming down the pike as far as a state law is concerned, and also to let us know where we do and where we don't have, quote, teeth in enforcing what we are attempting to do as a historical preservation board.
Yeah, I'm just cautioning you about that, the teeth, you know.
I'm not buying any more
He
teeth.
gets it.
Yeah.
To dentist, so.
Do we need to make a recommendation for
I don't think it would ever
this-
hurt.
the city attorney to,
No, we can, the next
I
meeting,
mean,
we
go ahead
can
and
talk
put on
about it.
the,
There's
yeah,
no
go
need
ahead
to-
and put on the books to
Yeah,
discuss this next.
we can discuss in more detail. but-
And by the way, isn't the first Thursday in
Yeah, that's what.
January the first of the year?
No, the meeting is scheduled for January 8th.
January 8th, okay.
I'm glad you asked.
Well, I just had a women's club board meeting this morning and it was like, oh, wait, yeah, that's on the 8th and this, okay. Great. So, Mr. Hollister.
We have people do, we guide people to do things. Some of the stuff I drive around, I noticed isn't getting done. One thing that really hit me was the iron fence around that beautiful estate over in the South Historic District, where they argued that it had never been painted. That's still not painted.
The melon, yeah.
No. And there's a couple other things I've noticed that we've
They
made
were
a
supposed to
decision.
clean that. They were supposed to clean that and not paint it, to
No,
my recollection.
No, it was painting.
Was it?
Yeah. So what happens when we make a decision, we give, we tell
Direction.
people what is required and they don't do it.
Then
That's,
it becomes a code enforcement issue.
Yes, I had asked that question before.
is it possible that, well, this would probably make regulations stricter, which would fly in the face of what we're potentially looking at coming down the pike, but I mean, if there was a section of our agenda where items that we had previously made a decision on, we could be apprised of what happened.
Yes, we could.
That's something I had asked before, if there's something that we could like, or just a follow-up.
Yeah, kind of
I mean,
checking
like-
things off the list, so to speak.
I mean, even just ask them, hey, in 2 months, can you come back and just give us the presentation of what you've done?
Yeah, we can do that. with the
Because that would keep
COA.
it away from code enforcement, because I
Yeah.
think they're got a lot.
And that would
Yeah.
also
Well-
give people time to be able to do these renovations and changes that we're asking. And then also
But-
keep them from like somebody walking down the street going, oh, that doesn't look right, let me code enforce them, even though they've been,
But
the
if they
board.
haven't complied with the COA that you approve and you gave to them, then it's a code enforcement issue. They're in violation.
Okay.
but
So-
who's going behind and
I don't see any.
Yeah, I was
other way
gonna
to-
say-
checking the
We can
violation?
talk to them, but
No, but
they have to comply with.
right, code thing, it's just a lot for them. And I don't know how long, everything is set back because they have so many cases.
I mean, is there
Right.
something in our codes
It-
now
yeah.
that gives them a time frame? Like you have X amount of days, 30 days before you're in violation
Well, usually,
or?
It's 15, they.
yeah, we're
issue the
gonna
letter,
15
then it's
days,
15
and
days.
then before we issue the notice,
Correct.
like a,
I'm Harold with the City of Palatka Code Compliance. Yes, we have taken a new approach as far as we came from code enforcement officers to code compliance, meaning working with the community more so. So yes, we do give call a friendly reminder for your first day. So we go out to an area and we notice issues. We'll send what's called a friendly reminder, give them 15 days to rectify the problem or contact us, make arrangements. Because some people might say, hey, I'm out of town. I won't be back in town until such and such date. And we'll note it and then put it in there and then work with people because we want compliance is our main goal. But unfortunately, if not, then after that, a notice of violation is issued. That means basically the process starts. So you get another 15 days. And then if they don't comply or if just don't care, then it's set on the books to go in front of the judge, in front of the magistrate hearing. And like Ms. Volt said, we have so many cases. So, I mean, right now we're over 200 cases. So if I start a case today and give them 15 days, 30 days and they're up, it doesn't mean come January 1 that they're gonna go to court because we have over 200 cases ahead of them. So we have to prioritize, I guess you could say prioritize, but we do.
First come, first served.
Exactly, and we, there are different, things like health and safety issues and hazards and stuff like that, that will bump it to a priority to
Right.
put it up in front.
But
But
we're talking about code enforcement here. We're not
Yeah.
talking about tracking COAs, which is, I believe, what we're discussing.
Yeah, that's what we're discussing.
Oh.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, I
Which, I
was
mean-
just talking about the code, how the
Well,
code,
you were talking about the code, so that's
Well,
why.
I want to know if there's anything in our codes, in the city's codes that says, once we give them the guidelines or approve their project, is there anybody going behind them to make sure they're doing the project? Or
No.
then does that fall on the citizens to do a code enforcement?
There is not.
I mean,
and also on that.
our department doesn't have the resources to
Yeah.
do that, to go back and start
So is
checking
there-
each one.
So is there some way that we can ask them to bring it back to us after 60 days to present what they've completed?
In a lot of cases, when you issue a COA, it requires sometime the building permit. So we give them a time frame that they need to pull that building permit. What is it, 1 year or 6 months? I think it's 1 year
Oh, geez.
for compliance.
We don't get that much stuff with permits here. I haven't since I.
Well, some of them require building permits, so.
Yes, I do, but I'm just saying, we've had very few that I've sat on that have permits.
And
Those are
usually,
roofs, and then my understanding is the staff is okaying roofs now, like for like.
if there is
so-
like to like, it's just maintenance.
Yes, so-
I approve those and I issue a COA.
Yes, so that's you
which I
check
sign
the
and-
COA.
And also the chair signs, the
Yes.
COA, and we put the reasons and
Well, that's what I'm saying. So now that you're doing that, you're verifying that there's a COA. And because you wouldn't be, I mean, you're doing like for like, which makes it a COA when you're approving it, correct?
yeah, it's
Yes.
still a certificate.
Yes,
you know,
the same
so-
thing. It's the same thing. So that takes those permitting things off of us, those type things that are like for like.
And if you require the building permit, then the applicant with the COA has to present that to the county.
Yes,
The county will not issue the permit without that.
yes, exactly. Agreed.
For larger scale projects, but
Any
you have to
project.
admit that,
Any project,
anything.
any project.
Yeah.
If it requires a building permit and
Mhm.
it's in the historic district, they need a COA.
well, no, I understand
And
that. I
the-
guess what my mind was tracking on is some months we don't have a meeting, some months we have one thing on the agenda, stranger days. We might have 3 items on an
Right.
agenda for a COA. It just doesn't strike me as that much additional work that we could say, hey, can someone please track these? Because we asked the homeowner to ... did they?
And I have a question that has to sort of do with that too. What, like people that we have one in general that we had turned down and now nothing is being done.
Oh.
And it's just sitting there and it's been, I would say, over a year. In that case, would be a code enforcement thing that we would do because
Yeah.
nothing's happening. They didn't work with us and it's just sitting there.
Is that Oak Street?
Yeah, I'm thinking Oak Street.
Mhm.
No, me too.
So what is that? That is,
Well, I think if they have a COA issue to them it's,
They
from what
didn't.
I've gathered,
they did not, and we denied it.
They didn't even have a building permit. did they?
Yes, they
Yeah.
had nothing, and now it's been well over a year. It's just been sitting
traffic,
there.
Oak
But
Street
that
where
is- That is a code enforcement issue.
Yeah, we would go and we would respond, go there and also and start the process all over again. Basically send them a reminder, hey, what's going on, whatever, try and make contact with those individuals and find out what's going
So
on.
I would, somebody would fill in a code enforcement thing then.
Yeah, but let me see if I understand. So you deny a COA
Yes,
and
We
did they
did.
get it? How did they come to you?
It was
They-
after the fact.
Yeah,
It
it
was
after
the
the fact?
They
Okay.
came and then when.
It
we-
was a
there was no
combination of,
Permits on anything, and then we tried to work with the gentleman over the TV set and,
Did they
and
have a
he-
notice of violation?
he got very upset and
Yeah, that's
he
another
just said,
spot.
forget it, I'm not doing
But then
nothing.
we should have the case, and we can just
Yeah.
look again.
Okay,
Is there any way that you can send the minutes to them of our meetings and they can say, oh, okay, well, here's this and here's that, keep an eye on it?
I
Well,
don't think.
Yeah, we're in the same department, you know, I mean.
He's
code-
overwhelmed.
Code enforcement is part of my department.
Yeah, he's
so-
overwhelmed
and that-
already, I know.
And that's why I go back again. Can we ask the applicants after they come and present it to us and we've given them the COA, if they can come back and present it after X amount of days, and then when they don't, then we file something.
I think that would be a question for
I-
Jane maybe
That I
now.
don't know, that's a legal.
I think
question.
maybe
Okay.
Jane, because nobody
Well-
has an answer, so she could lead us that we weren't being too intrusive or.
And if Jane
To-
is willing to talk with us next month
Yeah.
on the agenda, and we can ask her those questions then. I'm kind of sensing,
The timeline thing. Some projects take longer than others. So how do you say, this construction project's gonna take this long, and if you run into issues.
Our progress
is your
reports.
microphone on?
You can put a I'm sorry. You can put a condition, you know, in your COA, you know, give it a timeframe.
Well,
That-
and
I-
extensions, as long as work is being
Interesting.
done, yeah.
Because I think that would help the neighborhoods as well.
Yeah.
With,
Instead of seeing something just sitting there, because the
Yeah,
guy
'cause
was
we
PO'd
think-
at us.
right, we think we're doing something up here and then we're really not doing anything.
Yeah, like I said, I drive past this one house where they got permission to put in a nice gate for their driveway and it's not there.
Hmm.
And they came before us a year ago.
Mhm.
Well, like I said, it's not any, if it's not a violation of our code, there's not much we can do about it.
But it's a violation of the COA.
If it is a,
There's
well,
not an
yeah, in that case,
expiration on
yes.
COAs, that's the problem.
Well, and it, my
I don't know how many
suggestion-
cases like that we have. I haven't heard any, you know, I'm, first time I'm hearing this and I've been here almost 2 years, believe it or not.
Good. Some cities are a GLC or an LCG or something or other. Are you familiar with that?
No,
I was at a Main Street conference and they talked about that some cities are a designation and therefore it has more teeth.
Mhm.
And I forget, I can find out what
Yeah,
that
please
is,
don't.
but it's something that with this, you apply with the state and because it's historical areas and it can apply to business districts too. So I thought I saw that Palatka was, but
And it might be, who knows?
I'll look again.
I don't know.
If you would, Mr. Jefferson, I think that would be helpful. And meanwhile, give me one moment, Mr. Hollister.
Yes.
As we move toward having a sit down with Ms. West at our January 8th meeting, let's go ahead and just jot down some questions that we have for her. And we'll see what we can't figure out. Mr. Hollister.
This isn't along the same lines, but has anybody seen the signs? The pedestal signs in the historic district and those, they're covered with mold and mildew. Can the city clean those?
I'm sorry.
The signs that are in the North Historic District with, that tell about the houses.
The
Reed's
walking
Gardens.
signs.
Yeah, they're filthy. They're, oh, you know, just.
Is
covered
that the
with mold
sign,
and
that
mildew.
are you talking
Hey,
about the DOT sign?
You're talking about signs out in front of properties that give you
Yeah,
some.
informational
Even the big ones right by the corner of the church, on the opposite corner of the property.
Yeah, it's-
Covered with mold and mildew. Can somebody clean those?
It's basically soap and water.
Yeah.
And
keep
it's,
forgetting.
yeah, they were, we can get together any Saturday, but I can't take Third and Main. You got to do that one.
I can do it.
Yeah, it doesn't take a moment to clean up, but you're right. They have fallen by the wayside.
Yeah.
I would say if they're anyone's property, they might be the CRA's property or perhaps even the old defunct neighborhood association. They've been there forever.
Yeah, but they're cool.
Yeah, oh, they're great. And there's a brochure that's associated with it that if you would like the information about how to get your hands on that, I'd be happy to furnish it.
Excuse me. I wasn't at the last meeting. What's the status of the South Historic District's lamp posts? Gas, solar, replace, don't replace?
Nothing happened. I think it's gonna be probably considered by the CRA again.
All right, ladies, gentlemen, anything
One
else?
more thing before,
We have to make a motion.
before you adjourn. Just to let you know that the meeting on January 8th is also, we need to be leaving the room at 5 o'clock.
Excellent. We
So
can
we're
do
not
it.
gonna have a lot of time. Just keep that in mind.
Another meeting behind us.
Well, yeah, it's a city commission and, you know, still of the month. It's
Yeah,
about
no, we
5
work
o'clock, and so
amazingly
we
under
need to
pressure.
leave.
We're sorry. I know you've been here all day and this is the last place you want to be. I'm sorry.
5:03, that's not bad.
My husband's birthday. He's waiting to go out to dinner too, and I'm talking.
There you go.
Okay, and Mr. Agamo, we don't have to make a motion to ask Ms. West to
Absolutely
answer
not.
questions at the next meeting. Okay,
Absolutely not.
excellent. In that case, I am looking
Motion to
forward.
adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Hollister.
Thank you, everybody.